Hi, everybody. We'll get started here in just a few minutes, but we want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. We're really excited to kick off this very first Rex Live, and we're hoping that you'll interact with us as well today. So if you're watching through Facebook Live and you have a question throughout today's session, feel free to type it in and we'll see if we can get it to you. And we'll start here in just a few moments. Well, good afternoon on behalf of the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute at the University of Charleston. We're really excited that you could join us today for our live interactive discussion with families and children about the importance of medication safety. And in a few minutes, I'll be joined by someone who we usually don't like to keep around, but for the purposes of our conversation today, we are going to invite him to join us. And we will have some time at the end of our conversation to take some questions live, so feel free to type those into the comments on Facebook Live at any time, and we'll do our best to get to them. Again, with the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute, our main mission is very simple, just to reduce the number of overdose deaths in the state of West Virginia. And we do that by promoting recovery, access to recovery, as well as access to prevention programming. And Don't Keep Rex Around and our medication safety program with Rex is our premier prevention public safety campaign. And we've been in schools throughout the year sharing the importance of medication safety with pre-K and kindergarten students. And obviously we're unable to do that at this time, so live is our next best option. This week is National Public Health Week, and there are a lot of things that relate to public health, many of which we're very concerned about right now. But what we're interested in talking about this week is primarily medication safety. So we know that during this time of social distancing and stay at home, that we're all in closer quarters. Parents and grandparents and trusted adults are having to multitask and be tutors and teachers and cooks and just really trying to maintain working from home and balancing everything. So with that, life becomes a little chaotic, and we know that during this time that it's very likely that medications in your home are not being stored properly or out of the reach of children. But we also know that we can share some information today to help you with that, and also give you some tips and tricks for talking with your children, no matter how young they are, about medication safety. So when we often talk about prescription medication abuse, we think about teenagers a lot of the time, but we also need to consider the youngest members of our families. For example, we know that data released by the National Center of Addiction and Substance Abuse last year this time reported a 93% annual increase in unintentional prescription medication exposure for children 5 and younger. The report also indicated that 9 of 10 unintentional childhood poisonings occur at home. And in addition, poison control centers receive an average of 32 calls a day for children exposed to opioids. And sadly, 60% of those children are 5 years old or younger. Even more shockingly is about 48% of all pediatric medication exposures are from grandparents' medications. So the message that we have to share today is really, really important for all of our families staying safe at home.
Well, hello, Dr. Susan.
Hello, Rex. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, everybody at home. Looks like, hey, is that Jimmy Smallridge? Hey, Jimmy. Last time I saw Jimmy, he wasn't feeling so well.
Well, I'm hoping Jimmy's feeling good today, and we're glad to have him with us. But we're actually here today, Rex, to talk to families about how they can keep their young children safe during this time from prescription medications that they may not want to have access to.
Well, one of the first things I like to tell everybody about, I don't know, did you mention anything about the old Chevho?
Well, we haven't mentioned it yet, but I wanted to tell everybody about the importance of your cap, because when we go out into the schools, we talk to our pre-K and our kindergarten students about the importance of keeping your cap on your head and not touching that cap, that only a trusted adult should be touching the top of a medicine to open it up.
Oh, yeah, right now you shouldn't be touching anything, should you there, Dr. Susan? Don't touch my cap. And especially, we don't want the youngins touching the cap, right?
Absolutely.
Very important.
No reason to take that cap off whatsoever unless you are an adult. So we also tell our students about the importance of knowing their medication. And so we share with them that if their name is not on it, that they should not touch it, and that families can role model the importance of this by never sharing medication, even if it's with family members in the same home or with friends.
Well, to know me is to love me, Dr. Susan. And yes. And yeah, I agree with the not sharing, but this whole don't keep Rex around thing, it's really starting to weigh on me a little bit. So, again, what is it you wanted to tell them again about the old name? So pretty much, what is it here about?
If their name's not on it, it's not theirs. They shouldn't share it. They shouldn't touch it. And we need to make sure that if your name's not on it, you're definitely not taking it.
Oh, well, I always say to know me is to love me, but what do you know? I don't have a doctorate like Dr. Susan or, hey, is that Brianna? Hey, Bria, haven't seen you in a while. I see all my good friends. Hey, Jason Hager. Hey, Jason Hager. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Last time I saw Jason, he also had his sniffles ever, like, it's really, 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 really gross, if you know what I mean.
I'm sure.
So, yeah, how about, hold on, doctor. You've been talking forever. My turn. My turn. Me, Rexy. Okay, so you told him about my cap and for a trusted adult to make sure, mostly, hey, Jason, mostly just go ahead and let's keep that thing on and if your name isn't Rex in this situation, probably, is that some coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
really
a stimulant.
good.
Just want to say that. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, Rex is, you know what, I don't just pick on the kids. Dr. Susan over here. So, yeah, cap, no, yeah, no, okay, to know me is to love me, but what else you got there, Dr. Susan?
Well, there's something that's really important, especially now, and that's that we need to make sure that the medication is stored properly and out of the reach of children. So the best place for that is the medicine cabinet, not on an end table or a kitchen counter or the coffee table, but making sure it's in the medicine cabinet on a high shelf out of the reach of children.
Okay. So this is maybe where we have a difference of opinion, Dr. Susan. So how would you like to live? Well, don't even answer. How would you like to live in the medicine cabinet? It's not very cool, and your medicine cabinet is not very clean. It's kind of gross. You know what I'm saying?
Rex!
Maybe keep me on the nightstand.
No.
Maybe keep me on the kitchen table.
No, and I think there's a lot of smart kids out there that already know that that's not where you should be.
Well, can I say something? Yeah, there's a lot of smart kids, but not so many smart adults sometimes. I'm talking to you out there, the folks who maybe share some antibiotics and keep them around just in case they get the sniffles. I'm not going to say any names out there, Janet Murphy, but, sometimes you keep those amoxicillin and those, I'm not sure I said that right. I can't really read. Yeah, I can read 3 letters. REX. But, don't keep the medications around if you don't need them, or if maybe, you know.
Well, that's the next thing, Rex, is that we don't want to keep Rex around. So if our medication is old or expired or we're not using it anymore, the best thing to do to make sure no one gets a hold of it is to dispose of it properly. So that means when medication is expired or old, as we tell the young kids, that it's time to put and throw Rex away.
Old.
Old. Yes, you're old.
I'm old.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
old.
Look at your date. It's 2020, and
let's talk.
you're old.
Old. Well,
Yes.
let's talk about old there, dear. Back when Dr. Susan was back in school, kids, she didn't ride a bus. How many of you rode the bus to school? You didn't, because there's no school right now. Party. No, it's not very fun all the time. But when Dr. Susan used to go to school, Kim Shoemake, you know what she did? She rode a dinosaur, because she's old.
That is not very nice, Rex. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff all the time, and at the end of the day, it's always, don't keep Rex around. Rex needs to go somewhere else. Rex needs to do all these things. I'm here to help people. I'm a very helpful thing, especially during this flu season and this time when we get the sniffles and these things. Allergies. Oh, yes, horrible things. Jenny Lancaster, let me tell you a thing or two. Sometimes you should hear her. That whenever the pollen comes out, she sounds like a vacuum. Like a vacuum that has some things stuck inside of it. Hey, Jenny. Hey, like... It's horrible.
I don't think Jenny appreciates that, Rex. But the point is that we need to make sure that we dispose of you or dispose of our medications when they're not in use anymore, when we're done with them, or when they're old or expired. And we shouldn't do that by flushing them down the toilet. That's not the right way to get rid of them, or just throwing them in the garbage.
Oh, smarty pants.
Yeah.
So is there per se, who might know a method of disposing of said medication? Do you know a Dr. Susan?
Well, there's actually 3 things families can do to dispose of medications that are old or not being used. And one of those is that there's a medication disposal bag that we can provide them. And if they want to get in touch with us, our website is right there next to you or across from you, wvdii.org. Another way is there are nationwide drug take-back days with locations throughout the state of West Virginia where any drugs can be taken back, no questions asked. And pretty much every sheriff's department in the state of West Virginia will take those medications back any day, anytime. So there's really no excuse to keep older expired medications in our homes.
I love hanging out with those guys too. When you drop me off there, especially on drug take-back day, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, that's kind of the only day folks around here even go through the medicine cabinets and really pay much attention. I don't think many people care. I think people want to keep Rex around. What do you think, huh? What do you guys think, Greg Withrow? What do you think, huh? Yeah? Who wants to keep Rex around? I think everybody.
Don't keep Rex around.
No, do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Rex, you know the drill.
You know the drill. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. You're gonna throw me a party. Gonna tell me it's my birthday. Susan's really old.
It's not your birthday.
No,
We've already talked about this. That date is old. This is 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
That is not the date.
It is indeed.
That
What a
date
good
does not say
Hey,
2020.
Hey, everybody, who's having a good time so far, huh? 2020. What? You know what? A lot of people don't understand how Rexy is. I'm a lovable guy. I'm lovable. I'm the kind of person you want to keep around. I'm the kind of guy you want to have there when you need him. Hey, next time you get the stomach bug like Susan had last week, yeah, you're going to want Rexy around, right, Susan? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was great for when I was sick, but I shouldn't keep you around when I'm done. It's time to get rid of you. That way no one has access to you who shouldn't. And that's why you're here today, because we're counting on you, Rex, to share this important message with the children in our communities. And you usually do that when we get to go into schools, but today
No, I'm going to interrupt you. Yeah.
Yes,
Can
you
I,
are.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. All right already. Dr. Susan.
Are you going to let me
No,
finish?
you know what? I think you should talk to the adults, because the kids shouldn't be on Facebook. They should be in YouTube school right now doing that YouTube school thing.
Well, what we're hoping is that everyone's taking a break and watching together and learning together and talking together after we're done here today. So this is your opportunity to not just talk to children, but talk to families all across West Virginia about the importance of medication safety.
Oh, you're going to let me talk for once?
I occasionally do.
Oh, you usually do. So the message, once again, if you will let me speak, is do keep Rex around.
Don't keep Rex around. So
let's
you thought
just
you
do
were
it on
going
the
to trick
count
me.
of 3. No, do keep Rex around.
Don't keep Rex around.
Oh, let's all say it together.
Can everybody out there say it with me on the count of 3? We're going to say don't keep Rex around. Ready? Everybody do it with me. 1, 2, 3. Don't keep Rex around.
All right, whatever. I know when I'm not wanted.
Okay, Rex. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and take some questions from our audience. I will let you stick around for this only if you're nice to me.
No, I'm just going to leave. Peace out.
I figured he wouldn't help me. He's usually not of much help. But we're going to check our feeds and see if we have any questions out there today for us. And we'll read them back and want to give some shout outs to some folks who are listening. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Fire Station number 4 in Charleston, West Virginia, and all the guys there who are doing their part to spread the message about medication safety. And also a big shout out to our education director, Jessica Napier Eagle, who is typically out and about going to all of the schools with Rex to teach our children about medication safety. And right now she's home with the horrible task of having to grade pharmacy student reflections. So if I have any pharmacy students out there, you might want to send some good vibes to Jessica today. But we're checking our Facebook feed for messages. I'm going to have to put my glasses on so I can make sure that I can see what I'm doing here. And I think one of the questions that we have is really about medication disposal. And that looks like that came from Katie in Charleston. And so typically there are 2 days every year, one in October and one in April, that's considered National Drug Take Back Day. And that is sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Agency and Administration. Unfortunately, because of the situation we're in this year with COVID-19, that day has been delayed. But I can tell you that most sheriff's departments will take back medication without any questions asked. And they'll do that on any day. So there's not a specified day that you have to do that. It is not unusual for folks to think that pharmacies will take those medications back, but most pharmacies are not equipped to do that. So your sheriff's department is your best bet at this time. The next best bet is if you're interested in a medication disposal kit or a medication disposal bag. We have biodegradable bags through the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute that we'd be happy to mail you. So if you would like to get in touch with us, our contact information is at wvdii.org. Another great question that came in was about how to get Rex in your school. And so I will let you know that we've been spending most of this year going to Boone County. We've been in Kanawha County. We've been in Putnam County. We have also been into Roane and Calhoun County, and at the time of COVID-19, we're prepared to test Rex remotely, kind of like we're doing now on Facebook Live. So I would just encourage you, if you're interested, there's information on our Facebook page about how to get in touch with Jessica about scheduling an event at your school. And so we can go ahead and start planning for that for fall of 2020. So that was one of the questions that we had come in as well. So in checking some of the questions here, I'm also looking at Jason Hager has said that his 2 youngest girls are watching and just asked about Rex and why it was important to get rid of him. And so really, he's only important to get rid of if you're not using him anymore. So the messages that we share with children, like you all, is that we want to make sure that you're not using medication that is not your own. And so typically when you're young, like under about 8 years old, we don't want you touching that medication without a trusted adult. When you're older, when you're a teenager like my girls are, sometimes you're managing your own medications. And so we share two messages. Don't touch and don't use without a trusted adult if you're under 8 years old. And if you're a teenager, we definitely don't want you sharing your medication. So we like to get rid of Rex when we're done using him because we don't want somebody unintentionally taking medication that's not theirs. So when a doctor prescribes medication and a pharmacist, which is who you see at like a CVS or a Rite Aid, fills that prescription for you, they are filling it just for you and not for someone else. So that's why that's really important. One final question that we have is we have a special announcement actually, and so Jessica has asked me to make sure that I share this with you today. Starting today, we are launching a coloring contest to help spread the message and to get families talking about medication safety. We know that there's a lot of time that you all have together in your homes and a lot of time for conversation, and this is a great time to have that conversation about medication safety. So later this evening, we will have a downloadable PDF on our website, wvdii.org, and our Facebook page. It will be a coloring page that children pre-K through second grade can color, and it shows Rex where he's supposed to be in his medicine cabinet. And so we want to make sure that we're talking about don't keep Rex around, but then at the bottom, there are some talking points that parents can share with their children. And then we're inviting you to take pictures, not of the children, but of the coloring page.
Now you're talking, Dr. Susan.
That's right.
Now you're talking.
See,
let's give some stuff away.
We are.
Can I go visit some folks? Can I go, no? Yeah.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. We're going to pick 3 winners, and you have between now and May 30th to submit your picture. All the contest rules will be online with the PDF this evening, and 3 winners will be chosen, and each of those winners will have a Rex Day at their school. And we will also
a Rex Day.
A Rex Day.
Oh, Rex is gonna be like my birthday.
Not exactly.
Right. Okay, gotcha. I'm shushing.
Yeah, we're probably going to be talking more about medication safety, but we will have a Rex Day at their school, and we're also going to be providing the winner of each school with some digital signage for their school to share important public safety messages.
Ooh, sassy.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
You must have some really cool sponsors or something.
I do. I have some pretty cool friends, that is for sure. And then we're also going to have a special prize for each of the 3 children that win, including a gift valued.
Free?
Yes, free. Yes, we're looking at a gift that we're looking at a bicycle actually with a helmet and letting the child pick out their own bicycle and making sure that gets shipped to them.
How about 3 really swanky medicine cabinets?
That sounds more like a prize for you, Rex, not for
like
kids.
A medicine cabinet with a jacuzzi.
I don't think there's a jacuzzi in here, Rex. I'm really sorry.
What is that thing? That could be a jacuzzi. That could be like, yeah, I've got nothing. So, yeah, one more time. Let's just go over your little rules real quick.
Sure.
Let's do the thing.
So let's do yeah, we do with the kids and the schools. Yeah, so we cap him. We keep his cap on, right? We don't touch you without that trusted adult. That's right, your cap.
We don't touch my hat.
We don't touch the hat.
Actually, kids shouldn't. Again, you shouldn't be on the Facebooks. You should be off doing the Fortnite. Cap him.
And then the second thing is to know him. So if your name's not
on him.
Know him, Rex. Pay attention. So know him. So if your name is not on the medicine bottle, it's not yours. You should not take it. You should not share it, even if it's a family member.
No. Like that.
Cap no. Cap no, and then we're going to store you in the right place, like a medicine cabinet without a jacuzzi, but a medicine cabinet. And then we're going to do something that you don't like.
Hold on. Does it have to do with this? Like, stay with Rex. Stay with Rex. No, ma'am.
No. Actually, since you're expired and old, it has to do with disposing of you or throwing you away.
Oh, again. Here we go again. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. First of all, let me say one thing. To all the kids who color Rex. Yes, I have nothing.
It's really bad. That's really bad, Rex.
Yeah. So, let's do this. let's really get to that color. And all the parents, get this to your kids. Let's give out some bicycles for whenever we can get those kids riding their fantastic bicycles. We'll get some Rex stickers. Maybe we'll get some orange bikes. And also keep in mind, very nice medicine cabinets where you will put Rexy and keep me off of the nightstands and away from the kids and all the people. Maybe we can find some common ground. But let's just get it over with. Do your thing. All right, let's say it. One time, tell them what's up, Susan.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Don't keep Rex around. So I hope you all learned a little bit today about medication safety with Rex the RX, our medication safety ambassador. We hope that you'll participate in the coloring contest. We'll also hope that you will join us online at wvdii.org. We've also posted some additional resources and activities on our Facebook page. National Public Health Week runs through Sunday, so we'll have some additional information on our social media there as well. And once again, remember, don't keep Rex around.